Alright guys, so let's do another workflow. It's going to be a basic workflow, but now we're going to start using another action over here, and this time it's going to be an if condition. Okay, and so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and create a list of cars, and out of all the cars that the user enters, the only car that we're going to be logging to history are the Lamborghinis. No Toyotas, no Hondas, none of that. Okay, so it's going to be only Lamborghinis. Okay, and so this time, so here's the thing. If you really think about it, all the cars which are going to be entered are going to be filtered out except for Lamborghini. So which basically means that there's going to be something which is going to be, there's going to be a certain check which is going to be done to filter out that information, and that check is going to be the if condition. Okay, so these if conditions are very similar to what we have done in InfoPath forms, so it should be pretty easy to understand. Let me go ahead and create a brand new list over here, which is going to be from custom list, and it's going to be cars. Alright, so here's my cars, and I scroll down and it should be somewhere in here right there. Okay, and scroll down towards the right, and I see that there's a section over here on the list which shows that there are no workflows over here. Alright, so I can click on new workflow, and this is this is another way of creating a workflow in a list. Okay, and it's gonna be Lamborghinis only. Okay, did I spell it right? Does anybody own a Lamborghini over here?
I need glasses actually. I need a deck in the front, and in the back I need glasses. So.
You can, yeah, there are actually a few over there. Yeah, might as well. Lamborghinis. Okay, sounds pretty good. All right, I learned something new today. And so here's my workflow. The name of the workflow is Lamborghinis only, and again, as I said, so let's go ahead and use, and this time we're going to use a new workflow action, and it's going to be the if condition. All right, and I can go ahead and select the first one in here, which is going to be if any value equals value. Nice and easy, you know, things that we have done in the past. And it draws me a pretty decent structure over here. It draws me, hey, if value equal value, then do something over here. Right. And in the value section, what I'm going to select is click on value, but this time I need to verify the user input, right? I need to verify what the user has entered within the list, right? So I'm going to click on FX over here, which is defining the workflow lookup, and again the current item. Let's not forget what current item does. Okay, it's the item, it's the list item on which the workflow fired. Okay, on which the workflow is running. So I'm saying that from the current item, get me the title, which is going to be the name of the car. Okay, so I'm saying that if the title is equal to Lamborghini,
the strings doesn't have to be inside the quotes, right?
it creates a string. You know, anything that you enter within a string builder is considered as a string, so you don't really have to specify quotes in there. It does it by itself. Okay, so I click on OK, and what I have over here is if it's equal to Lamborghini. This is not case sensitive, or I'm not making it is case sensitive, but I'm not really checking if it's case sensitive or not. You know, instead of equals, I can go ahead and use anything else. I can even use contains. Okay, and in here what I'm saying is that if it's a Lamborghini, then go ahead and log to history. Okay, say Lamborghini. Okay, click on OK, and that's really what it does. That's the only thing that it does. And then here I have to, this is mandatory, transition to state And again, as I said, this was not part of SharePoint 2010. This is only SharePoint 2013, and I have to specify something as to what's going to happen in transition to stage. And over here, I write down end of workflow. Okay. So let's see how this works out.
We have to automatically start it on item created, right?
Yes, you are definitely right about that. So let me go ahead and save that. Back in SharePoint 2007 days, there was no save button. As of what I remember, there was no.
Only publish?
Only publish. So you gotta wrap it up within a day. Okay, so let me go ahead and go to Lamborghini here. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and shut this down. Go back to my cars, and then click on FI, which is going to refresh, my workflow details. Building the workflow report, and it says there are no items. That is surprising. That is very surprising.
I think we have to publish.
I think I might have to publish it. So, okay. So let's go back to workflows, and let's go ahead and click on these settings over here, anyways, and then click on publish. Okay, and go back to cars again, hit on F5, which is just refresh, and then actually it did. It brought it the last time itself. Okay, and actually I think it might have done this time, but it's got manual start, item created, and item changed. You see that I see my triggers, the start options as well. Okay, and I see that this is the workflow. So I can have as many workflows as I want on a list, and I would actually see all of them over here. Okay, sounds nice and good. So let's go ahead and click on preview.
It should open exactly this list on a page.
Yes, that's what it's supposed to do, but it's not. Go back in here. Close down Lamborghinis. Right. So it's just taking a lifetime. And then I see my cars in here. Click on cars. Okay, and I see that my workflow Lamborghini only is already associated with this list. Okay, and now I click on new car, and it's going to be Lamborghini. Does anybody know any kind of models for Lamborghinis? 15? Like F50? Alright, man. That's what I have. And then I'm going to enter a second item. Oh, man. Say again? Spell it out. How do you spell that? Hold on. Could you spell it out again for me? A-V-E-N T-A-D-O-R. Aventador. My next car. Alright, so I got 2 entries, and the third one is going to be my current car.
Toyota Corolla 1997.
Honda Accord. That's my snapping back to reality over here. So, right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the stages, the workflow status for all of these. Okay, and go back in here, and if I go back in here, then I'm going to see that this one, which is a Lamborghini, it did say it's a Lamborghini. The second one, it did as well say it's a Lamborghini. The third one, which was what? Honda Accord? Alright, man. I feel bad about it. But that's how if conditions work. And if I go back in here, click on the workflow, and then talk about customizing the workflow again, click on edit workflow down at the bottom, and then it opens up workflow. Okay, and now, but what I want to do is that if it's not, if it's not Lamborghini, then I mean, I want to go ahead and no, hold on one second. Okay. Oh, come on. Alright guys, give me 1 second over here. So I'm gonna write down an else if statement over here, okay, which is going to be, what I'm saying is that, hey, if
So this thing is option, this function is built in .NET?
no, actually, sorry about that. Hold on 1 second.
This giving this desktop application.
This one.
Design.
So if it's not a Lamborghini, then I want to go ahead and log to history again, saying that, hey, something as basic as not a Lamborghini. But pretty sure it is durable. All right. So, but now what I've done over here is that I'm actually using an if and an else condition over here. Okay. So, and I can define if and else ifs as many times as I want, if, else if, and else as well. But in my case over here, all I'm going to use is if and else. Okay. I go back, and then if I run this, you're going to see that now if it's not a Lamborghini, then even then it's going to log me a workflow history message, saying that, hey, it's not a Lamborghini. There's definitely say again, yeah, but it's durable. Yeah. So go back and then click on new item. And now what was that? Toyota? Oh. Yeah, but you had a special car in mind. What was that? Toyota Corolla?
Toyota Corolla, yes. 1997.
Corolla, 1997. Cool. Click on stage 1. And it says not a Lamborghini, but pretty sure it's durable. So this way you don't feel bad. Right. Alright, sounds pretty good. So these are very extremely basic, conditions. Okay, and these are pretty basic, extremely basic conditions. All right, man. So yeah, here's the thing. So I definitely understand your concern, which is you want to understand what is a practical implementation of these. Okay. So, but what I would recommend you do is that as of right now, just try understanding the concept of how these things work, and then when we understand these real basic things, then we're going to work on something which actually makes a little more sense as practical implementations. Okay. Like, I'm not saying that this one is a practical implementation, but let's go ahead and try evaluating bonus based on the number of years employees working. But this could be something that you probably might end up with. You probably might have like a list with 10,000 employees, and based on experience, you just want to imply a certain formula to evaluate their bonus.
Okay, can we start from like complete?
All right. So this workflow is going to be for evaluating the bonus based on the number of years employees working. So let's just say that if a certain employee is working over 1 year, then they get 2% bonus. If over 5 years, they get 5% bonus. If over 10 years, they get 10% bonus. As easy as that. Okay. So let's go ahead and click on List and Libraries and create a brand new list.
Let's make it a little bit more complicated. Relist them.
Okay.
No, first do it just like that, then make second.
Yeah. Let's just go ahead and make something really basic, and then we go ahead and complicate the hell out of it. Okay.
Once you understand what it is, you can make it as complicated as you want.
Right.
understand that complicated better because that's realistic.
AQL employees. Okay. Or you know what? Yeah.
First you created with a list, right?
Yeah, a plain simple list, and it's just a custom list. Yeah, and I go find my list, which is AQL employees. Click open that, and then edit list columns. And I'm going to go ahead and use existing site columns to get first name. There's got to be a first name. Yeah, there's a first name. Okay. This is a custom list, and I'm using existing site, add existing site columns. Okay.
Site column from which list?
No, site columns are on the site.
Oh,
Okay, and then there's no experience. Okay, so let's go ahead and
You clicked on
and email.
existing site column, which
Right.
you've already created it.
I have not. These are the ones. The one that I'm using right now, they already exist in the system. I haven't created them. Yeah. Okay, and then so I got email, first name, and then let's get city. Okay. And that's all I need. Actually, I need one other column, which is going to be
You
Yeah.
need how long it's been working, how much
Yes.
you pay, how are you going to calculate the bonus?
yes. That's a good idea. So let's get two different columns in here. Okay, which is going to be a number column, which is going to be experience, experience, and then there's going to be another column over here, which is going to be yeah, salary. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and change the title, the name of the title, from title to last name. Okay, so this looks nice and good, right? Hit on save. And the only required field over here is last name.
Column that you created right now, experience and salary, they are just specifically for this list.
Yes.
They have nothing to do with
So
the columns.
right, these are list columns. They exist only within the list. These are, these were site columns, and I'm using the site columns.
They already existed, or you just
They already existed. I didn't create them.
for you it existed. Rest of us, if we're doing it, then we have to create.
No, it's site columns means that they will already be in there. Site columns created on the level of the site. If the site columns are created on the level of the root site, then every single site or subsite underneath it would actually have the site columns.
Access to it, yeah. So you can use
Okay, yeah. So I just saved it. Let's go back to AQL employees, and now let's go ahead and write some basic workflows in here. So click on new, and then the name of this workflow is going to be evaluate bonus. Okay, and again select SharePoint 2013 template and not 2010. Click on OK. Alright, and I get my standard workflow template, which pretty much nothing in it except for stage. And in here, I think I'm going to go ahead and select an if condition. Okay, which is if current item year, experience is
Greater than 2 years.
is less than or equal to 1. Okay, then I'm going to go ahead and apply some list actions over here, and it's going to be update list action. Okay, so now we're using a very specific and interesting workflow action over here. It's update list item. So really what I'm going to do is I'm going to write back to my list. And
you have to do update the item list salary or bonus in
Yeah, so let's go ahead and write down bonus as well. So let's create another column in here which is going to be bonus. Make sense? Yeah. So so go back in here, and then I'm going to say update item in this list. I click on this list, and it's asking me which list. So by default, it says current item. So it's saying that, hey, I'm going to be updating this current item itself. All right. So now I click on, of course, I just specified, hey, update this list. But the second thing I need to specify is which columns, right? So click on add, and it's going to be bonus. All right. And so I need to specify the value of bonus. Yes. So I click on FX, and actually, so let's go back for a second over here. Before I apply this update item in this list, I'm going to go ahead and use another action over here, which is going to be do calculation.
So you have to create that formula before you can choose that formula.
Right. And it's going to be, I pass in so this formula is actually, you pass me two values and tell me what you have to do with it, and I'm going to return you back the value. And the way, so this is value 1 that you want to pass. This is the operation that you're trying to do. This is value 2. Okay. And it returns back the calculated value in this variable. Let's go ahead and try it out. Okay. So
I know you went back and added the actual column for
right, minus divided by 100. Okay. So what's the percent divided by 100?
No, but you can do experience divided by salary and then.
No, hold on one second. So
it's not divided.
so
Multiply.
I can go ahead and specify. So my salary over here, which is going to be salary. Okay. And I'm going to say that multiply this by. Where's my multiply by? And it's going to be for, as we said, that it's, if it's 1 year, then how much were we giving out?
Then instead of putting 100, then put
Right.
0.01.
Yeah, might as well just go ahead and do that. Did we say 2%?
Yeah, 1% something. Or 2%.
Yeah, 2%. Let's be gracious. Let's be gracious, guys.
List an example.
Yeah. So multiplied by 2%.
We can put 10%.
Human beings are so
I'm saying, use examples. So put
All right.
let's make it realistic.
You said the word, man. I'm being a little more gracious over here.
Oh my god.
10%.
He's giving the whole cup.
10%. Okay. And now, so here's the thing. So, and it returns me back. So here, think about it this way. You know, it's you know, to this calculate workflow action, I need to pass in three things: value 1, value 2, and the operation on these two values. Makes sense, right? For every single thing, any kind of operation, you need two values and the operation on it. Okay.
the values are current experience and that's the first value.
Yes. So two values, one operation, and then it's going to return me the value. All right. So the first value is the current item salary. The second value is the percent, which is, you know, percent of the salary, and then the third operation is multiply by. And when you pass these three things to calculate workflow action, it's going to return me back one single value, which is the calculation itself, and it's going to return me that in a very special variable, and I'm going to name this variable calculated bonus.
And that's going to create.
And the type is number. I'm saying that this is going to be number.
That's going to create another column.
No, it's not. It's just a temporary storage location.
It will populate with the bonus.
Yeah.
Bonus column.
Right. A variable is nothing but it's a temporary memory storage location that I use for my calculations. So I do this calculation, the computer stores that in its internal memory and gives it a name, and the name is calculated bonus. And then I'm going to use this calculated bonus and then update my list item with it. Does that make sense? Okay. So now I go back and then I select my another workflow action, which is going to be update list item.
Again,
Okay, so I actually select it from recent items. The reason being that I just chose it and it brings it up in the recent actions, but I can actually scroll down to the list actions and I see that right here, update list item. I click on update list item, and now the first thing is I need to tell it which list item. So by default it's current item. Okay. Now the second thing is which column in this list am I updating, the bonus, and what exactly is the value.
Value is going to be equal to the calculated bonus.
The variable, right? Okay, so to the temporary memory storage by the name calculated bonus, right? So there's a way that I can actually tell SharePoint to get values out of it. Okay, so which is I click on FX. Right, I click on FX. But from FX, the thing that I'm going to select is workflow variables and parameters. And it shows me all the variables which exist in my program, which is calculated bonus. I select that, hit on OK, hit on OK, hit on OK.
All these, the variable that you created, that is specifically related to this list, the one you're working on.
To this
If
workflow.
someone else wants to use this, they have to create one for their list.
Right. So again, this is very specific. This workflow is going to be applied to only my list. Okay, if I want to end up creating something very generic, then I create reusable workflows out of it, which we're going to do down the line. But this workflow is very geared towards my list, which is AQL employees. Okay, and it's going to get values from certain columns and populate the bonus column. Okay, makes sense?
What if you were to use the same count? Let's just say you're calculating that, and then it's going to get.
So if I go back in here and then I click on update list item, go back in here. So pretty much what I did is that, I'm just associating. I click on modify. I chose a column which is bonus from my current item list, and I'm saying that populate that with calculated bonus value.
So when you hit OK, that
So in this statement, so right over here, this is where I'm calculating the values. Pass in value 1, value 2, and the operation, which in this case is multiply. And then what the do calculation workflow action does is it returns me back a value of this calculation. Okay, and I chose to store that in a variable by name calculated bonus. But again, the calculated bonus is just a variable. Its scope is only within this program. The program dies, the value is disposed of. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to take this value, the calculated bonus value, and then update that in my list item. For that, I use update item workflow action, update item in a list workflow action, which helps me actually specify, the column. I specify the column, and I say that I'm saying that, hey, update the list item, which is a current items bonus column, with the value stored in my variable, which is calculated bonus. All right, guys. So let's go ahead and publish this workflow. Oh, I got errors. And the reason why I have error in my workflow is because I don't really specify the transition to stage.
yeah, the next step.
Yeah, which is I gotta tell it what from this stage what is it going to transition to, and I'm gonna say it's going to end the workflow, end the workflow, right? Okay, and then under workflow settings, it's gonna start automatically when a workflow item is changed or when a workflow is created. Okay, click on publish. Now AQL employees, Rustam, is the last name C? Starts with a C?
No, it's H.
H. Oh, sorry, man, my bad. That's good.
That's good enough because it's 13 letters long.
I have a friend. Whenever I ask him information in that area, whenever I ask him his last name, we get his license out and give it to him.
That's
So nobody will ever.
probably that's
All right, what kind of salary are we talking about, Rustam?
70,000 would be.
70,000 would be enough. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
You live up to that.
All right, so
You can live off the bonus.
Yes, as a start.
all right, so I leave the bonus blank. I run my workflow, and congratulations, man,
7,000 bonus.
7,000 bonus.
So email can be generated essentially.
Yes.
How did you do that?
I didn't do nothing. The workflow did it. And
5-year experience. Why don't we work for 1-year experience?
no, this is we didn't have any criterias in there.
Have experience?
Yeah, we didn't actually add the if condition. Remember, we deleted those if conditions to make the workflow easier. Okay, so Iftikhar, what's your last name?
KHL.
Khalid. Okay. All right, man. So that's plans. All right. So what are we talking about, my friend? Give me a number, man. Consider it done. Today's your day, man. That's a deep thought, man.
Well, it's 95.
All right, man. The first thing Iftikhar is thinking is about the tax bracket. He's like, all right, 95, yeah. I'm still in.
If you would have asked him about 4 months ago, he would have said 60.
No, that's now. Why?
Because
That's always been my
now it's
goal.
a different tax bracket.
No, it's always been my goal.
All right, man. So, all right, man. The workflow crashed over here, man. It's not. Yeah, it's not updating Iftikhar.
Too much, right? The solver.
All right, man. You know, the workflow is gracious. 9,500.
So once you save it, the workflow is automatically going on.
Yep.
The workflow.
And then, yep, and then it does the calculations, and you know, and it does the calculations. All right. So